To begin this interview, I want to thank you very much for agreeing to do this interview with me. It's a great pleasure that I'm interviewing the Vice Mayor um, for Scottsdale.
My pleasure.
I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the class.
I'm Solange Whitehead, and I've lived in Scottsdale since '96, and we moved here for 6 months. That's it. We came from San Diego, so we told the neighbors we'll be right back, and then we never went back because we love Scottsdale. In 2018, I ended up getting elected to the council.
Where were you born and educated?
I was born on an Army base.
Nice.
And we moved around a lot. My dad would go to get different degrees, and they were young, and we lived in Europe and all up and down the East Coast. And so I ended up at University of Florida, and that's where I got my degree.
And you got your degree in electrical engineer.
Yeah.
And what are key life experiences or jobs have formed who you are today?
As an electrical engineer, and I mean, I was working in a nuclear missile facility, but all along I've always done, what I was able to do there was bring in recycling to a 20,000 person company. So I've always done environmental projects that were intended to save people money, save resources, and make our quality of life better. And so that's kind of been my passion always.
That's amazing. And that's very essential nowadays. How did you become passionate and involved in our city?
But I ran the environmental group for 10 years. But as part of being involved in this environmental group, I was recruited to join the City of Scottsdale Preserve Commission.
And why is our city a great city?
So the green belt, are you familiar with our green belt that runs the whole length of the city pretty much? Okay, so the federal government wanted to build a concrete ditch there, and our citizens said no. So it is flood control, but it's a beautiful pedestrian path. That was citizen driven. The preserve was citizen driven. When bad ideas have come up, and this was just the latest, the Desert Discovery Center, our citizens have stood up and fought. So I think just by being a community where the citizens have complete access to City Hall, and City Hall, sometimes begrudgingly, but does listen, we've made it a great community.
So what causes, projects, activities are you involved in, and why?
We don't have any solar power, really, to speak of at the city. So immediately I was able to hire in an energy manager and some additional staff. We will have 3 or 4 companies on board so that we look at every one of our facilities and we increase the energy efficiency, we add solar, and we reduce our $25 million a year power bill.
All right. How do you collaborate with other groups and individuals to realize your impactful work?
Well, I think, and we're seeing this a lot, and I think it's heartbreaking to all of us, this divisiveness that's going on in this country. And so everybody is an ally. We've seen a lot of great collaborations in Scottsdale. I mean, I've found some great collaborators and enjoyed it.
What would be like the top 1 or 2?
Well, so we have right now I am very interested in improving policing.
What other creators who you are focused on similar projects, activities have influenced you?
Well, so yeah, well, I think, so Carla with no last name was the woman who had the idea of buying the most expensive land and setting it aside. It was a crazy idea at the time. So I think I'm really inspired by people who just truly see an opportunity for public good and aren't insecure about stepping up and being the outlier. People, I think of the doctor in Flint, Michigan, who took on the whole state because she said, "You're poisoning the kids."
What would you recommend, like we do, to become future creator of great cities?
So I think that's, it's just about doing your job and being passionate about your job. And then when you see an opportunity, go for it.
I want to thank you again for agreeing to do this interview with me.
I just wish you the best of luck. Great architects make great cities.